12 tribes of Israel were once a united kingdom in the land of Israel and ruled by the great kings David and Solomon. So that's when Solomon's temple was built. And Solomon's temple was perhaps one of the greatest architectural feats ever completed, and definitely one of the most mysterious. Now, the 12 tribes of Israel are the descendants of Jacob, and eventually 10 of them were lost or removed from history. And for being such a controversial group, they're only mentioned in the Bible twice. 1 Kings 11:31, "Take for yourself 10 pieces, thus says the Lord your God of Israel. See, I am about to tear the kingdom from the hand of Solomon, and will give you 10 tribes." And there's not all that much history from that point on, and then the history ends with the destruction of the kingdom by the Assyrians in the year 722 BCE. And then the Assyrians exile the 10 tribes to the east, and from that moment the 10 tribes are lost from historical record. And I don't think it's accurate to say they're lost from historical record, but they were removed from historical record. So the 10 tribes of Israel, their names are Reuben, Simon, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Manasseh, and Ephraim. All of them but Judah and the tribe of Benjamin. We see the Jewish historian Josephus wrote that the 10 tribes are beyond the Euphrates till now, and are an immense multitude not to be estimated in numbers. So we can see when we look at a map of Tartary, and we're theorizing in this video that the lost 10 tribes of Israel are in fact the Tartarians. When it says that they're an immense multitude not to be estimated in numbers, an immense multitude of people would definitely line up with an immense multitude of land that they would inhabit. So there's at least the first connection, but this is Israel, so to the east would be Tartary. Let's look at some more historical text. The name Azareth, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses, until the time of the restoration, according to 4 Esdras 13. Now, Columbus identified America as this land, and we will see why momentarily. Now, here we go again. Azareth, a region beyond the Euphrates River, which the Assyrians supposedly took the 10 tribes after the destruction of the northern kingdoms, and from which it was expected they would return in the last days. And they definitely are expected to return in the last days, as the prophet Isaiah promises their return in Isaiah 27:13. Let's take a look at the text of 2 Esdras 13. 2 Esdras is also called 4 Esdras, so they kind of have two names there, but here's chapter 13 and verse 45. Throughout that region there was a long way to go, a journey of about a year and a half, and that country is called Azareth, and they dwell there until the last times. Now, Azareth is not easy to locate on very many maps, but let's take a look at the maps we can find. Here we go, 1596 on this one, and here is Azareth, and of course this is in Tartary. This is a map of Tartary, and here's Azareth. Here are the 10 tribes, and I can't translate the rest. If you could translate, please put it in the comments below. And we can see 4 Esdras chapter 13. So it even mentions the chapter and verse where Azareth and the 10 tribes came. Now let's look up here where it talks about Naphtali. Now again, that is one of the tribes of Israel, Naphtali. Naphtali, and I cannot translate this text, but here we get Danitas, so D-A-N, and again here D-A-N, Danimarki, which I believe corresponds to the tribe of Dan, just as we have the, it's talking also about the tribe of Naphtali, and it's possible it's talking about some of the other tribes, and I just can't translate it correctly. But we could see where they are at on the map. Here is the tribe of Dan, and here is the tribe of Naphtali, the Naphtali horde. and it's possible some of the others are listed here. It's interesting here we get Rubini, which may correspond with Reuben, the tribe of Reuben. But there's multiple tribes names written here, and as well as Azareth, and these are all within Tartaria.